Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to give it just one more minute to allow everybody an opportunity to get into the call, and then we will quickly get started, and I'll pass it over to Adam.
All right. I don't think that was a minute, but I think we're ready to go. So thanks everybody for showing up. I will keep this short and sweet. We do not need 30 minutes to tell you all the great things about what's happening at TLS, the recently rebranded TLS, by the way. As you can see, we're still the loan store, but we're going to be transitioning to calling ourselves TLS because, spoiler alert, we didn't even keep our loans in an actual store. So I don't know what was going on with that. But my name is Adam. I'm the Chief Growth Officer here at TLS. And I want to walk through some of our program features, benefits, et cetera. And again, promise to get you out there and writing loans. So this is not a hard pitch, not a hard sell. You guys, I think, know who we are, but if you don't, we are part of HomePoint. So HomePoint basically servicing, release, sold, Cooper, et cetera. Most of you guys that follow the industry know that kind of thing. And so we took a scrappy group of about 150, 200 of us and got the loan store, and the loan store has grown with other HomePoint people and some that weren't HomePoint into what it is today, which is an incredibly fast growing wholesale lender. Super excited about non-QM, which we'll talk about later, but that's kind of how we were born of sorts. So obviously not a new team, not a new company, nothing that we've never done before. So a lot of familiar faces, especially within the AE category. Our account executives are the best in the business, no question. They've had 20, 30, some of them 40 years experience, which I don't think they enjoy me pointing out, to be fair, but it's a lot of experience. So moving right along. All right. So, loan solutions, all about solutions. We want to partner with you to grow your business. That seems obvious, but a lot of times in this space, there's a desire for complete devotion to a product or a platform or something like that. We don't ask that of you. We want to be one of your top 1, 2, 3, 4 lenders, 5 lenders, whatever. I think we deserve a saved mark on your loan sifter. I think you should constantly be looking us for price, product, etc. Price, obviously, pretty important, especially in these rate and volatile environments, right? So really what I would implore you to do is kind of look at us for pretty much everything, but especially some of the products we're about to point out, which is Flex Non-QM DSCR, Flex Non-QM AUS. Our non-QM product suite is probably bar none the best in the industry. I don't say that lightly. That's the kind of fluff you expect from a lender. Everything they do is the best. I'll be the first to tell you not everything we do is the best. However, non-QM, we are incredibly sharp at. We brought a team that we've known for over a decade, underwriters, everybody. It is 100% a non-QM silo. It is not conventional underwriters moonlighting as non-QM every once in a while. That's all they do, non-QM. We have a group of account specialists that all they do is intake and massage and push the non-QM files through, work with underwriting, work with you as the broker, LO, et cetera. And some of these products, I mean, the word, I guess, it's fair to say it's kind of a best kept secret in the sense that a lot of folks truly don't understand it yet. I think overall penetration is probably really low in the industry. I think a lot of folks have never done one, therefore they're scared to do it, therefore they're apprehensive to pitch it. They don't want to blow up their first deal, ruin a realtor relationship, all the crap we all worry about, right? Non-QM, if you have not tried it, I would argue it's different, but it's easier than conventional. I mean, when you look at a conventional guideline stack, it's this. Non-QM, of course, has guidelines, but they're a lot easier and they're a lot more make sense. So what I mean by that, an example is, depending on the month, 40 to 50% of our funded non-QM volume, which is hundreds of millions of dollars, by the way, 40 to 50% of those have exceptions that we fund on. So don't think of it in the conventional sense, if you're new to non-QM, as, hey, I got to hit every box. You have to hit most boxes. And then you have to kind of present a compelling argument or a clean, good file as to, hey, I've got XYZ. Here's where I need some help. I think this file has legs. That's when you go to your AE. That's when your AE leans on our internal resources. That's when you use our income AI tool, right? To make sure you're thinking of this file the same way as the bank statements and everything else in front of you are showing. All that to say, We have everything you need in order to make your first non-QM deal worthwhile, right? You're going to be going out on a limb. We know that. We understand it. We have a mountain of support behind you on it. So I think this is waking up borrowers that otherwise wouldn't transact. Kind of an obvious statement, right? The guy who has a bank statement loans getting, turned down by other people, especially as local lenders, banks, et cetera. These folks, a lot of times when I talk to brokers out in the field, they're like, yeah, this guy didn't even know he could transact. And now I showed him that because his bank statements for his company run 40, 50, $60,000 a month through, he can basically buy anything he wants. So really it's an educational opportunity. It gives you something new to talk with realtors, builders, and especially with some of the investors, because you got DSCR, right? We call it DSCR done right. It's a business purpose loan. That means no TRID. It means there's additional income opportunities for you, right? And also bank statement, interest only, like it really is tailor fit for people who want to drive down cash flow, i.e. investors. So I don't mean to give you a financial lesson. I despise reading off the slides, so I assume you guys can read off the slides if you're watching the screen. If you have questions about the product, your AE is the first stop. If you don't yet know who your AE is or don't have one, sales at theloanstore.com. Sales at theloanstore.com will answer any question you got and get you going there. Simply Solar, yet another opportunity. Obviously, none of this stuff is like, holy cow, this is my business. This is everything to me. These are additional opportunities to, again, educate realtors, educate clients. When it hits, it's a perfect solution, right? Is everybody going to get Simply Solar? No. People in, I don't know, I grew up in Iowa. Like, is there a lot of solar in Iowa? I don't know. I haven't been back. Why would I go back to Iowa? But if you're in California, I feel like this has a lot of meaning to you. Texas, Florida, et cetera. You guys know the states. Once again, know that it exists. Know that you can very safely put yourself, your realtor partner, your borrower, jump in the pool with us. We can get you through this stuff. You don't have to be the expert. That's what we're for. So I actually, embarrassingly enough, probably can't tell you most of the finer points of our Simply Solar program. I've never done one myself, but we do quite a few of these, and they have a huge opportunity and a huge bonus for the right borrower. Again, do not be scared. This is what your AE is for. This is why we have those 20, 30, 40 year of experience folks. We're going to get you through this stuff. Home again. It's kind of it's rough that we have to offer it. There's been a lot of natural disasters, so it's kind of a double-edged sword. But for the people that we can really help with this product, it's amazing. And think of this as someone whom is had their home severely damaged, destroyed, etc. The places North Carolina, Florida, etc. California, of course. If you have people in this capacity, in this bucket, our hearts go out to them first and foremost. But this product is really impressive. As you can see, it's 100% LTV, and you don't count the destroyed home against them. So you can imagine what those folks are going through. Yet another product that you can help with. So unfortunately, if you're selling these, I that sucks. But it's going to help a lot of people. So moving on to home equity. I personally believe every homeowner should have a home equity line of credit. I feel like it's one of those things. It's kind of like having a pickup truck in Texas, but having that opportunity, especially you guys, to make 200 on it, first, second, third liens, primary, second investment. Our HELOC shines in a couple different capacities. There is no such thing as a one size fits all product. If you want the best rate, you probably go to a local credit union and go through that song and dance. Where this one really shines is a digital application, crazy fast, couple days. Your borrower can do it at 2 a.m, right? You don't have to handhold them through it. Borrowers navigate this all the time. We do hundreds and hundreds of these a month. A lot of times loan officers don't even know that they're getting a completed application because they hit in the middle of the night or in the morning or something, right? So you can send these links, you can push to your borrower, you can make sure your borrowers get marketing around it. We're having a lot of luck with people using just pointing out cash needs, right? Ask your borrower if you need a HELOC. A, they don't even know what it stands for. B, they're not even sure they need it. C, they're like, whatever. Start talking about swimming pools. Start talking about how you're going to prepare your home for 2 or 3 growing, boys, girls, teenagers, going off to college, paying for weddings, paying for life events. This is a very compelling product, as rates in the credit cards, et cetera, have remained very sticky. So this is fast cash. If you have a borrower that needs fast cash, you really need to think about this product in the HELOC space. All right, trying to go through fast with you guys. I don't want to shortchange anything, but consumer rewards is, kind of a points-based system of sorts. Spoiler alert, those are out there, right? Other lenders have them. I think where ours shine is with selling HELOCs, you get the opportunity to price down or spend your points on other product. So you can do the HELOC for the Johnson family and use your accrued points in the HELOC space to give up to 40 basis points pricing, other credits, et cetera, on different loans. So you kind of accrue this bank of sorts. It's a way of, we're always looking for ways to kind of reward you and stick you within the ecosystem, kind of like Apple. Although we don't make quite as cool products, we're working on that though. But all this stuff is to say, hey, we want to reward you for looking at us. And we think when you look at us, you'll find a lot of opportunity to do business with us. And that's all we ask is you got to keep us on your roster, right? Kids talking about keeping a roster. I think this is a little bit different, but keep us on your roster. All right. Moving right along. Got the fade in screens. We're really doing big things on this PowerPoint. All right, buy before you sell. Again, another niche product, really cool for the right borrower. The first thing to note is this does not take the realtor out. It doesn't do any harm to the realtor. In fact, it arguably protects the realtor better than anything else. It also protects the borrower. There's really no gotcha. You do have to pay for the product, right? Of course, nothing in life is free. But even if the home didn't sell after the time period, as it sells, if it even sells for more, the homeowner gets the difference, right? So there's no real got you here. What you're looking for, again, I assume most people have not sold this. I assume most people are a little bit scared of it. They don't quite know how to explain it. That's where your AEs just come in strong. They do these. They're involved in these. Guys, your AEs are like their days and weeks are like dog years. Remember, they see tens if not hundreds of deals in a compressed time frame. They know what works, they know what doesn't. If I could leave you with one thing on this call is if you think you have daylight on something, if you think there's a borrower out there that can transact and you're not quite sure where to put them, that's when you pick up the phone or send an email to your AE like, hey, here's my scenario. Here's what I'm working on. Do you have a product that works? Or, hey, I think this is a buy before you sell, but I'm not entirely sure. That is the literal reason we exist. And we're not AI chatbots, right? Way you have to weigh our experience and really utilize it. If that's not how you're utilizing us, I feel like there's a lot of opportunity left on the table. But buy before you sell. Don't hit them up for the departing residents. They can shop without contingency. I don't know if you guys have been looking at houses in your areas, but geez, my area is not getting any better. I'm kind of casually looking for a house, and it's rough out there. So, absolutely a cool product. Really cool to talk to your realtors about because they will absolutely be skeptical, and you get to explain to them that they're in no way in danger in utilizing this product. They do not get kicked out of the deal. They don't get circumvented. There's nothing that would harm a realtor or your relationship. So, been very cognizant of that as we built this. All right. Oh, our little pun, soft approach to hard money. I think hard money is maybe the coolest thing. Non-QM is actually pretty cool. Hard money is really cool. Again, fix and flip, new construction. I'm guessing most people don't do this. They don't want to dip your toe in the water. You don't know where to start. You don't really have a sacrificial lamb of a client or a realtor that you can just burn while you learn. We are the experts. We will help you. It is a wholly owned subsidiary of the loan store, TLS. Okay. So it's our own money. We lend it. That doesn't mean we do every deal, right? What you'll really notice about hard money is you got to have a lot of at bats. If you send 10 hard money deals to any 10, lenders, hard money lenders in the nation, you will not go 10 for 10. You may not go 9 for 10. Heck, you may not even go 7 for 10, right? But it's an approach. Again, you can talk to a different clientele. You have a different cohort, different builders, different investors, realtors, et cetera, that you probably haven't spoken to before. What they know that you should know is with hard money, you always should keep 1, 2, or 3 investors at the ready. Hard money is a little bit notorious for getting all the way to closing and being like, I can't do this deal. So having us as a backup, understanding that we offer it, if you do know fix and flip, if you do understand the approach, which is a calculation based on ARV or after repair value, basically, we have a pretty down the middle product. There's not a lot of gotchas. There's, 20, 25, 30% equity positions. New construction is where it's been really easy because a lot of people already own the land. And if you own the land already, it makes that 20, 25, 30% equity position fairly attainable. So an example of that would be you think the thing's going to be worth a million when it's done, and you bought the lot for 200 grand and you own the lot, you've already got 20% equity, right? So you're kind of right there. But again, we have an entire team that's dedicated to this. This is all they do. That's their expertise, and it's its own siloed process. So again, you're not waiting on one person who kind of does one of these every once in a while. So with that said, I've promised to not waste your time. I've promised not to read off slides, although I did a few times to be fair. Just look at us. That's all we can ask, right? Make a relationship with your account executive. They're freaking awesome. Don't think of us as, hey, I've got one product and that is what the loan store does. Here's what we're great at. We're great at our account executives. They are your Sherpas through this crazy ass mortgage landscape we all have chosen as a career, right? Rely on your AEs. They'll be the first to tell you if something doesn't fit our box and go somewhere else and catch us on the next deal, right? We're great at non-QM. Non-QM, if you are not writing it, thank me in a year. You will add 5, 10, 15, 20 different deals that you didn't even know you were missing out there, right? Your borrowers don't even know they're missing. Anybody who's self-employed, anybody who's an investor, if you can put out any marketing collateral about it, get them excited, start pitching them. Heck, our AEs will help you pitch it, right? That's what they're there for. But you got to think of us, got to use us. Think of us as your top 2 or 3. We don't deserve every deal. We deserve the deals that we win. So help us win deals, help us grow your company, and tell us, quite frankly, what we're missing on. I also want to hear that if you're getting, a greater offer somewhere else, we always won't always be number one on price. But if we're really missing a product or a guideline, let us know. That doesn't mean we're going to do it, but gosh, we're trying really hard to continue to grow and continue to be a lender you can rely on in your roster. So anyway, keep us in your top 2 or 3. I think we're always worth a look. If you have any questions whatsoever, this slideshow, the marketing hub, all of our stuff's available. If you don't know who your AE is, sales@theloanstore.com, sales@theloanstore.com. And otherwise, call out your AEs, talk to them, send them emails, make them come give you bagels or donuts or I don't know, whatever the kids are eating these days. So I haven't touched a bagel in a very long time. I'm very proud of myself, but can't say that for donuts. Anyway, normally there's really no need to take questions. We don't want to turn this into a guideline call. If anybody has something super pressing, Brenda, we can get immediate responses back to the respective AEs, etc. So thanks for attending, guys. Volatile market out there. Get in front of your people, get in front of your realtors. Even when they say they don't want to talk to you, they do. You gotta be out there for them and tell them something they don't already know. And I'm guessing it's going to revolve around bank statement, non-QM, etc. So use your AEs. They're great. Don't be scared of them. You can completely tell them what you have, what you don't have. Hey, I've got a deal here. Hey, I think I've got a deal here. They're going to tell you right away. They know what sees daylight and what doesn't. They see hundreds of these. So, all right, enough about me. Stepping off the soapbox here. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Brenda, any closing remarks?
No,
All
I
right,
will mention that we do have a podcast on
dude.
Podbeam if you're interested in listening to any of those. We also have a YouTube channel that will typically have all of our webinars on there for replay and to listen again. And then we have our marketing hub, which I'm proud of, has all of your customizable flyers, social media, again, webinar replays, a lot of information
Yeah.
and supporting documentation is out there for you.
The pod is a
Um,
great call out, Brenda, because we've had some absolute killers in the non QM space kind of show and tell what they're doing. And you guys will be decidedly thrown back. It's deadly simple, but it revolves around just getting out there and educating people, quite frankly. Spoiler alert. So, yeah, great call, Brenda.
yep. There is one more question. Can you do investment property purchases in an LLC inside of an IRA? Ooh,
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm going to be
We should probably
honest.
check on that. We
We
should,
can check on that or
yeah,
check
yeah,
with
yeah.
your account executive. I know we can do them on LLCs inside
Yep.
of an IRA. I don't know. Can you do a cash out refi on a 3-family in Brooklyn, New York, held in a revocable trust? Good gravy, you guys have them.
I
Um,
love it.
I'm
We'll
going
get
to
them an answer.
have your
Yeah.
account executive reach
Yeah.
out to you on that one. I will make a note of that, Francisco. And Francisco, I like your name. That's off the L. Sorry. It's a million
I've
dollar
not been to
loan.
Brooklyn in a long time, but I would sure like to do that loan. I hope we can. So we'll get you an answer.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it. Thanks everybody for joining us. You'll get a email here shortly with the recording for you.
Let's go lock some loans, and I hope it's with us. But go out and kill it, guys. You're the
There
best
you
thing
go.
for the customer and the realtor. You guys know what's going on more than anybody. So go out and kill it. Make our industry proud. Thanks, everybody.